Welcome, or good evening, or good afternoon, or whenever you're watching, whether you're live or in the replay. And welcome to this week's live craft and chat, where we craft and chat live, unless you're watching the replay, and then you get to craft and chat in replay. Now, something that I absolutely love is when I'm seeing those of you who are catching the replay actually comment like you're watching live, and I jump in and love heart and try and respond if you've got questions. And I actually really enjoy it because I love the live streams, and it kind of makes the live stream go longer for me, which, I'm a selfish person. So here we go. So I'm just double checking the chat if you can hear me, if you can see me. I've changed some settings on my end, so we will see if that is all working. Frances is watching from her sick bed. She's got the flu. Oh, Frances. Oh, that's horrible. Well, you look after yourself. Make sure that you are doing the things you need to be doing. Sally says that she sees me and she hears me. Thank you, Sally. Appreciate that. Yeah, so I was busily working on my queen last night, trying to get up to the next color, and I made a mistake. So this morning's first thing is to pull back a row. And just, can you guys cross your fingers and just hope it's one row I have to pull back, because I don't want to pull back more than one row, and because it was like near the start of the row, so I've got to pull back nearly a whole row, which sucks. So but I've got the next color out because it's literally I just finished the last of the color rows, was working on the next purple row. And when I was working on the purple row, it wasn't working. And I'm like, what is going on here? And that's when I realized I messed up the last of the color row. So that's how close I got, because I've been trying, I got behind and everything this week again, because I decided to put something else on my plate for all of us. And I'm also really, really excited about it. So as you could tell by the title of today's video, we are talking Tour de Fleece. So let me know in the chat, have you ever heard of Tour de Fleece or TDF before? So let me know in the chat. And while you guys let me know that, I'm going to have a little read through of everybody, seeing where everyone's at. Lisby saying hi to everybody. Hi, Lisby. Ruth says that she sees and hears fine as well. Jai Good says it's glad to catch you live. That's awesome. Good to see you, Jai, as well. Lots of people chatting to each other, which I love. Morning all from Knit Spin Girls. That is awesome. Teresa CM, welcome to the chat. Lots of people in straight up, which I love. You guys know how much I love that. And if you are here watching the channel and you like joining into the live streams and you like what we do here, and you see a big red subscribe button, if you could smush that, that would be awesome. I'm so close to hitting my next milestone, and I would love to be able to hit it sooner rather than later. I don't have any time frames. I watch the numbers tick over and I'm a bit like, oh, it's getting really close. So, and I'm sure I will get to do that again next time we are close to another one. So that would be awesome. What have we got here? TDF. Jennifer P says, of course. Ruth says that she hasn't heard of it. Oh, Molly had to frog 4 rows of a cable sweater. Oh, ouch. There we go. Lisby says Allegra often does this, sometimes a sock thing as well. Yeah, Allegra does some amazing stuff. Linda has heard of it, but it's not her thing. Knitspin Girls says, oops, I tried to click on it. Knitspin, I do TDF informally every year. I also watch the race in full. Jennifer P says that it's a chance to spin and watch the French countryside. And Jen Homewood, welcome to the chat, Jen, says, I haven't done TDF in a few years, but now I'm keen to get back into it. Okay, so for those of you that don't know what Tour de Fleece, TDF or Tour de Fleece is, it was an event that got started, I believe it got started on Ravelry in about 2003, I want to say. It feels like a long time ago. It might have been 2008. But anyway, somewhere in the early 2000s, which is a bizarre thing to say in itself. Oh my gosh. Um, and I I used to do it. I used to do it every time. And then I started doing the Bendigo Sheep and Wool Show, and it became really like, I couldn't do it because it's a big spinning commitment, as well as I was getting ready for the show and traveling, and I kept feeling like I failed every time, so I decided to stop doing it. But this year, I'm not doing the Bendigo Sheep and Wool Show as a vendor or as an attendee, so I'm like, "Dude, I've got some time in July for a change." So, Tour de Fleece is an event that runs alongside the Tour de France, and it I I would hazard a guess that the person who came up with it is someone who loved watching Tour de France and saw the similarities between spinning on a spinning wheel and riding a bike. So, what you do is you set goals and try to just enjoy some spin time with on Ravelry. There's all sorts of teams and there's events and things like that. They've got a really set up. So if you want to do it, go and check out Ravelry, and then in the groups, just type Tour de France, Tour de Fleece, and the group will come up. It's been around for a long time, and they've got all their rules and guidelines in there. Now, I wanted to do it again this year, but I didn't want to sort of jump in with both feet. I wanted to wade into the ankle depth because I haven't spun for a long time. I'm pulling my spinning wheel out of storage. And so I just wanted like the chance to just sort of get in without any real hassle. So earlier this week, I put a post into the Fiberific Fun Zone asking if anybody else would be interested in doing Tour de Fleece. And it turned out that there was a few people who were interested. So what I've decided to do is run a really low-key, semi-informal version of TDF on the Fiberific Fun Zone page. So if you're not in the Fun Zone, why not? Obviously not everybody does Facebook. So that one I'll give you. But any other reason, there's no valid reason. And so what we're going to do is just each day spin. And they have break days, like rest days, and they have challenge days. And all of this is 100% optional. So for someone like me who hasn't spun in ages, my goal is just to spin for a minimum of 10 minutes every day. That is the goal I'll be setting for myself. I've got a goal and planning thread over there. So I've actually got to put that in there so you guys found out first. I want to spin for 10 minutes every day. And then on the challenge days, I want to wash some fleece for a project that I want to work on. And then hopefully, if any of it's dry, sorry, I want to wash fleece on my rest days and then work on it during the time after the rest days. So we'll see. But right now, I still have a project on my wheel, and I found the fluff for it, and that's going to be my first spin, which is some beautiful Beersheba Castledale. And what I was thinking is, because I know not everybody is a spinner, okay? And it is a spinning event. Jen Homewood says 10 minutes per day is a great goal, but for me, 10 minutes can turn into 60. Me too, but I do want to have a 10-minute minimum. So if I don't, so that I make sure I do sit down and spin a little every day. So during our live streams, when they fall on spin days, I'm going to like for the month of July, I'll set up something for spinning, whether or not it's my spindle, or I've been trying to work out how I would set up cameras here for actual spinning on a wheel, and I don't know if we could do it, but I'm certainly willing to try. But that would just be for the month of July, because I don't want to get off track on my queen either. So John says wool. See, it doesn't have to be wool. You don't have to spin wool. There's lots of things that can be spun that aren't wool. But yeah, so I was also wondering if we just had a thing like, for those of us that spin, which I know there's a smaller number of us that spin than crochet and knit. For those of us that don't spin, maybe have in there people like being able to have it so people can also join in the daily threads of what they have done for that day. And if there's a challenge day, work on something that's a bit trickier. So how do you guys feel about adding in non-spinning into our Tour de France? So, or sorry, our Tour de Fleece. And for you all to understand, I don't actually always get to watch all of the Tour de France because it runs in weird hours for me. So I tend to watch like the start of a day or a recap, or something like that, and I'll spin during that. But you don't even have to watch it if you don't want. You can just put on whatever you want. But I figure if I'm doing it, I should do it properly. I don't know. I don't even know if it's properly, but that's my goal. So if you guys can let me know in the chat, how would you feel about including people who don't spin to the for me, I definitely want to be spinning because it's something I haven't had the chance to do in, it's got to be 12 months at least, and I really miss it. So it's a good chance for me to step back into spinning again. But I also know not everybody spins, so I want to make it inclusive. So those that want to spin, set spin goals, and those that want to crochet or knit, set crochet or knit goals. At, like a number of minutes per day. So if you're a crocheter, maybe set, I don't know what you'd set. Whatever's a good goal for you. It doesn't have to be crazy. It just has to be daily. So where are we here? Just Teresa CM says, yes, please be inclusive, but I'll be spinning. I'll be spinning as well. But I actually think being inclusive will be cool fun. No spinning for John. Fair enough, John. The more the merrier. That is awesome. John says, I'm not a tour fan. I need to figure out F1 or NASCAR crochet pun. Yep. You love it. Everyone gets to play. Sally says that's a great idea. Okay, well, what I'll be doing is while I've actually already gone in and made all the posts for the Tour de Fleece. I spent like half a day setting it all up so that I get the reminders as well, which I know is so dumb. But I've set up all the posts that'll hit the group every day. And so you need to be in the Fiberific fun zone for you to get the posts to add your comments to. There'll be a daily post. They'll be coming out on the day, each day. So for each tour day, they'll come out. And then even on the rest days, I've got a post up for the rest days as well, just to find out what you're doing on your rest day, things like that. So hopefully it all works. Please, Facebook, please work. We'll soon find out. Day 1 is July 1. So if it doesn't work, if I don't wake up to find a post on July the 1st, it'll be scary. Artsog says, Lassa, do not spin. Knitting it is then. Absolutely. Sally's popped a link up to the fun zone there in the chat. So if you're not a member, jump over. So yeah, because that's the thing. Like I know I actually like watching Tour de France, not for the cycling, but more for the French countryside. So and they do get some beautiful imagery of the French countryside, which I love. Never been to France. It's the closest I get to France. But yeah, so and I don't know, it's a big thing. So why not? Let's get involved. We don't have to watch the cycling to enjoy the Tour de Fleece in the fun zone. Okay, so hey, like total sidetrack because I'm just drinking my coffee. I'm trying out some different options for adding to my coffee. I don't want to say the M word because it's not M, but I'm using, like, right now I've got I'm gonna say oat water because it's not oat milk. I don't believe it's milk, but it's like what they're selling is oat milk. And in coffee, it's really good. In tea, it's really good. But I've heard like the almond milk is really good too. Again, I don't think it's milk. I know it's not milk. But almonds got more protein in it than oats do. So I'm looking at that option. But I've heard that like it splits when it hits your hot coffee. Like, does anybody have any opinions or help with that? I love the scenery and some of the field art is amazing too. Yeah, because they know people are flying over, so they do special stuff. Sally says almond milk is great. Awesome. Dolores F is in the chat. Hey, Dolores, we just had a massive chat about the Tour de Fleece. So if you want to scrub back and watch it at double speed and catch up, you would probably be very interested. Game Widows is combining spinning with weaving. Oh, yeah. Francis says, I love the extras on SBS, like that French Australian cook guy. What's his name? Gabriel? Ga- oh, I can't think of his last name. Gattei. Gabriel Gattei. Um, Carly, welcome to the chat. Sally says, haven't had any issues with almond milk and hot drinks. Just shake well before pouring. Easy. Awesome. Thank you. I've got some in the fridge. I just haven't tried it yet. I only bought it yesterday. Jen Deal is in the chat, back from walking the dog. One happy dog. That's right. We're going to make a tour de fleece. Tour de fiber is more inclusive than tour de fleece. Yes, Gabrielle. Okay, cool. But yeah, we were just talking about also, like, I'll just recap very briefly and very fastly. We were talking about Tour de Fleece, and we're going to be making the Fiberific Fun Zone version of it a bit more inclusive to include spinners and knitters, those that don't spin, to be able to include their daily posts into our chat threads as well. So that was the long and the short of it. I'm putting off ripping back this row is what I'm doing. Can you tell? So I've made a mistake in my queen and I have to pull back a row. And it's not at the end, it's nearly at the start. So I've got to pull back nearly an entire row. And I'm like looking at it like, did I definitely screw it up? And I'm like, yeah, I definitely screwed it up somewhere. And I'm thinking it might actually be in the next row back, which would make me exceptionally sad because that's so much. Gabriel Gattei isn't doing it anymore. He was getting pretty old. I don't want to say old, but yeah, probably not wanting to do it anymore. There's a new guy, but I can't spell his name. He does Plat du Tour. I always thought it was pretty cool because they would be in France and they would be going around and gathering French ingredients and making beautiful food. And like, seriously, like, we like food, right? We like the food. Oh, FYI, I found my glasses. I'm not sure if I found them for last week's live stream or this week's live stream, but I've got them on my face. They were hiding on my bedside table under a thing. So yeah. Whoops. I just try not to drop that in my coffee. I hate frogging back rows. I don't mind it so much when it's just like at the end, but this is a long way back. Oh, this is on a nice angle. Why are you on an angle? I don't know. It's a little out of shot, but I'll deal with that later. Okay. We're nearly there. We'll go back to there. Okay. Oh, that's very dark, isn't it? Let me see if I can fix that. That's a lot darker than I was anticipating. We've got extra lights on and everything. So let me just it's going to take me a little second to change up this, to brighten this up a little. So just give me a little minute. Gilliam Brahmi is the replacement. Rebecca says I have a few new spindles for yeah, absolutely. Configure the video. We would like to just make it a little brighter if we can. Just a little bit more. There we go. Hopefully that's not too great. It's a little grainy. Okay. All right, that'll do for now. Okay. Google is my friend from Sally. Awesome. Yeah, me too. GM, I don't know how to say it, John. I'm Australian. We don't do much French here. Okay. Now, let me just find the pattern. I've got to go back to that row. So that's the row. It was 3 at the start. Okay. Alrighty. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay, fingers are crossed, you guys. Gentile says, holy mama, it's hot here. Oh dear, Jen. 1. Okay. Now, I'm not sure if this was the repeat that I screwed up or if it's the next repeat I screwed up. Let me just have a look. 2, 1, 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 1, 2. See, they look right. But somewhere, oh, actually, I think, is it this one? 1, 2, 1, 1, 2. No, it's not that one either. Well, we'll soon find out. 98 degrees. Geome. Thanks, guys. Making me all posh. I don't know. Francis says, I went to his restaurant for a wedding anniversary a few years back. The food was yummy. Well, that is fantastic. That is awesome. I like going to a restaurant and getting good food. I get really disappointed when I go out for food somewhere and I'm like, that was less than exciting. Okay. 1. Okay. Fingers are crossed, you guys, that I can fix this up without too much sadness, okay? Because I don't want to have to realize that, no, it was the blue row or the purple row underneath it and have to rip back more. There'll be much sadness. All right. Okay, so I'm going to do the 3 repeats because I'm not certain which one of the repeats it was that was dead because I pulled back ready to go and then I pulled back further. So I'm not quite sure. And then I'll try and do the purple row over the top of it because that will tell me if I have stuffed it up, which is 100% possible. Bob Curran has made it. Bob, it's good to see you here. Rebecca said it was 100 in Minnesota a couple of days ago. Well, I mean, it's cold here today. I've got socks on and everything, long sleeves, long pants. Abby's home, so I don't have the heat pumping in from the other room because she is there. Crochet with Claire is in the house. Hey, Claire, how you going? We're just fixing my mess, hopefully. Fingers are crossed I can fix it. Hey, Claire, are you live again next week? Just checking from my own calendar. So, yes. Okay. No, it's 1. All right. So far, so good. We've got just do one more repeat. Fingers are crossed that this one works. Oh, goodness me. Because I realized last night when I was very, very sleepy while I was working on it, there was no way I was going to be able to fix it then. I had to wait. And I was going to get up early this morning and fix it and then didn't. Jennifer P is saying, Chantel, if you are thinking about scouring raw fleece, Aldi is selling a Strucket this week. It's a strainer and bucket, which I'm trying out this morning, and it seems to be working well. Oh, that sounds interesting. That sounds very interesting. Claire says that she is live next week, 10 a.m. on Wednesday for Brisbane time people, or Tuesday night for those on the other side of the worldly. Awesome. Just wanted to double check. I thought it was next week. I had this horrible feeling yesterday that it was supposed to be on, and then I was like, I had to go through the calendar and work it out, and I'm like, oh no, not today, thank goodness, because I had planned other things. Okay. All right. Well, I mean, I can understand why I did not pick up any mistakes on my brown row because so far, so good. All right. So I did 3 repeats from where I pulled back. That feels like that should have been enough. 2, 1, 2. Yeah. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pause temporarily and continue on with the purple and see if I come up against anything that is orcs. So 1, 2, 3, that. 1, 2, 3, that. 1, 2, 3, and that one. I'm so nervous. I don't know why I'm so nervous. I'm like, oh my gosh, please, please, please work. Please don't make me pull back another row. Actually, I know exactly why I'm so nervous. I don't want to pull back another row. It's like nearly at the start, and it's a long row to pull back. There's a lot to pull out of a row. Let's have a look. Sally said, glad it wasn't yesterday because I definitely forgot about it. Oh no, Claire is sick as well. Some lovely person gave me that cold. Oh. Vampire is lurking today while I figure out gussets in a baby cardigan, trying to get this done before my niece goes in for a heart surgery in 5 weeks. Good luck. If you need more help, don't forget to add photos into the fun zone. There are some amazing knitters in the group and they may be able to help you with that. Well, they may not be able to, but it's always worth a try. So yes, that would be a good idea. John says sharing is caring. Well, you can keep your caring to yourself if it involves a cold. 1, 2, 3, and then big one. Yeah, I'm not a fan of the old sharing is caring when someone gives me their germs. Yeah. And Leanne is awesome at reminding people if they miss out on something. So, yeah. 1, 2, 3. I'm like I'm so tense. I'm like, oh, okay, we can do this. This is gonna work. This is gonna work. Please let it work. Wait a second. One. I know, it's okay. I'm having a heart attack and it's just because I can't count. Keep going, Chantel. You've got it. I'm holding my breath, guys. I'm like, my hands are shaking and I'm holding my breath and I'm like, I mean, it's a good sign. I think I might be past where I felt the screw up was because I just had to pull more yarn from the ball. Okay, we'll do one more repeat. Cross your fingers for me. Artsog, thank you. Breathe in and breathe out. Oh, Sally, what did my mum goes in for her lung operation on Tuesday. My fingers are firmly crossed for your mum, Sally. That's a big one. John says, I was just trying to chain 5 while she was just counting and it was, oh, I'm sorry, John. I didn't mean to stuff you up. I'm breathing in and breathing out. Oh my gosh. Okay. I think it was just because the last time I found a mistake, I ended up having to like rip back 10 rows, but it was only like a small section, like right at the end of the row for 10 rows. It wasn't like the whole of 10 rows, which this was like pretty close to the start. Like the start is here and we ripped back to here. So it was very close to the start. That seems, I've got to get the rest of the way across with the brown now. But short of screwing the brown up, I'm over this wherever the space was that I stuffed up. I've fixed it. I don't know how, but I have, so I'm happy. John says, working with my granny square weather blanket, I'm up to April 8th. Course I started with March 13th. Okay. All right. You didn't start with January 1? Like, is there a reason why you started with March? Can anyone tell me how much fiber I would need for winter socks if no one can remember? Well, Rebecca, it's gonna depend so you obviously want to spin for your winter socks. Are you spinning a 4-ply sock weight, or are you spinning like a worsted weight? It's going to depend on the kind of spin, the weight of yarn that you want to spin, and how long you want your winter socks to be to get enough. Like normally, if you're making yourself a standard sort of like sock yarn weight, 100 grams, 300 to 400 meters is normally enough. But for winter socks, I'm thinking squishy, thick socks. You would probably make them in a DK weight. You want more squish, less twist. They'll wear out a little faster doing it that way, though. Make it, I would guess, around the 150 to 200 gram mark if you're going a nice long sock. Linda is saying 100 grams or 150 to be safe. Yeah, I'm thinking 100 to 150. 150 to 200 if you're working in a worsted weight and you're making a long sock. So yeah, it depends on your pattern and it depends on the thickness of the wool you want. So yeah, it's not quite as easy a question to work out. My go-to pattern book for making socks, now this is once you've already got the yarn, obviously, but is Charlene Church's Sensational Knitted Socks. I've got a link in my Fiberific Amazon store, and then she has a second book called More Sensational Knitted Socks, and you do need to knit a swatch. But what happens is once you've knit that swatch, in her book she's got all these charts to work out, okay, you want a men's size 9, you want it to be this long, you need to cast on this many stitches, and then you go through and there's all these different patterns and different heel types. And yeah, it's a fun book. It's like a recipe book. And it's a lot of fun. Bob Curran is saying 150 to 200 grams. I would definitely be spinning up 200 grams to be safe. And if you've got leftovers, you've got leftovers. They can be the toes or heels for another pair of socks. That's always my thing, is they can always be used for something else. Where am I? So it's 2, 2, 1, 2, 2. Okay, so I'm here. So we're on a 1. Yeah, but yeah, in my Fiberific Amazon store, I've got links for that book. The book does both, I think. Like, I think it's, yeah. I'm just going to jump to Amazon, my Amazon store. I'm just thinking, I can't get to the book easily, otherwise I just pull it out, but it's behind a table. Fiberific.amazon.com. I mean, that I don't think, no, that's not how it works there. Hang on. I know there's a link somewhere. There we go. Amazon's Fiberific page. And books. Huh. I'm like, it's definitely in there. It's not in the books I love section. Hang on a second. It might be under that weird one that I can't change its name of, the influencer. No? Oh, come on. All right, I'll add links in. I'll add a link into the fun zone later. I'll make an affiliate code, but I'll add a link into the fun zone another time. But yeah, Leanne's popped in a link for my Amazon store. Thank you. Alison says, "I would use 200 grams and any leftovers can go into fingerless gloves or it be added into a hat." Um, yeah, Leanne, I think that link will work. Yeah, I can imagine it would work. Jackie Doyle is in the house. Hello, Jackie. Yeah, I can't remember, Kelly, if it's cuffs down or toes up. I do remember doing some Kitchener stitch on some of the socks, but I don't remember doing Kitchener stitch on all of the socks. So I think most of them were cuffed down, honestly. I really do, but I it's been a little while since I've used the books. I haven't made a pair of socks for a while. What I used them specifically for, like I originally made myself some socks, but I used them to make my husband some socks using Bendigo luxury in 10-ply. For him to wear in his steel cap boots at work. So I still got, because he just wanted single colors. Like his first pair was not single colors. They were like a mishmash of what I had, which was brick and a fern green. And I think I've told this story before. He got paid out a bit on by people he worked with when they saw his socks. Because he was on a mining site, so there was share accommodation. But after that, it was like, can we just have like dark blue or like something in a single color? So I was just like, yeah, this was just a test. So, but yeah, so I just used like leftovers of yarn that I had to test it out, and it worked great. Like it made he's still like, hey, if you ever want to make more of those, I've still got steel caps that I wear while I'm mowing the lawn. I'm like, I am not making you hand knit socks to mow the lawn in. It's different when you're at work all day and, like, it's a totally different thing, but I am not making you socks to mow the lawn in. Yeah, what's next? You want hot pink and lime green stripes. Okay. Yeah, no, it was someone at work paid out on him, and it was because they would kick their boots off at the door and then come inside with just their socked feet. And, it was, they all, like, were wearing, like, I don't know if you guys know about, they're like football socks, like, so they're these big, long socks, in football team colors, and they're just trashy, thin, sort of acrylic socks, and, like, when they walked in, they left footprints of perspiration on the floor, and then they've seen Tim's socks and laughed at him, but when he walked, he didn't leave those same footprints. Um, Kelly said, I was mega disappointed when I bought a toe up book. They were all short or ankle, no knee highs. It was annoying to spend dollars and have 15 patterns, but none covering above the ankle or methodology to do it. No, this book is fantastic. You can make the socks as long as you want. Yeah, no, I love it. I love this book. Well, there's actually two. There's sensational knitted socks and more sensational knitted socks. I'm like, I think I can see it, but I can't quite get to it because there's stuff in front of it. I'm like, oh, where is it? It'd be so easy just to show you. And also the instructions cover if you like using a single circular, two circulars, or double pointed needles, and everything's sort of set out really clearly for like the different numbers of stitches to go on the different needle types. It's just such a good series of books. I can't remember who put me onto them, but I was just so grateful. Oh, Dolores has managed to get through that bit. Thank you, Dolores. TDF low key and inclusive sounds great. Awesome. Yeah, absolutely. How many of those other guys' wives made them handmade socks? Well, Tim actually contacted me and was like, um, um, I was going to put in an affiliate link, Jackie. All right, hang on. I'm going to quickly make an affiliate link. Hang on. Just let me just control or shift. There we go. Oops, that's not what I want. Here it comes. Sorry if I'm screwing up the stream, but I really like, guys, I don't, there's not much sales going through on the website. And I really do love everyone's use of my affiliate links. So I'm going to add in, there we go. Okay, here we go. Here's an affiliate link. have to write affiliate link, otherwise I get in trouble. There's an affiliate link to the Sensational Knitted Socks book. So if you do buy it, please, please, please use that link. It is that, oh, I was going to say, is that only secondhand? No, it's only $16. Are you kidding me? Oh my gosh. That's insane. And the more Sensational Knitted Socks is $33. What? Sorry, that feels weird to me. But it's an amazing book. And like you can see when they've used patterned yarns, plain yarns. There's like whole dictionaries of different stitches. Like if you need a 4-stitch repeat or a 6-stitch repeat or whatever, it's all listed out. It's so awesome. Love this book. It's my when anyone ever asks me for a sock book recommendation, that's the one for me, that one. Oh no, I was on Amazon Australia, I thought. Hang on, I'm checking now because I don't want to give anyone a bum steer. Just give me a second while it let me look. Oh, okay, I might be on Amazon.com. All right. I thought I was on .com.au. Yeah, that might be US dollars. Sorry. But yeah. That might be. No, it shouldn't. It should show me in a. Hang on. Let me just look. No, I think. Oh, I don't even know. You'd have to look. You'd have to check it out for yourselves. I don't know if there's a Kindle version. You'd need to check it. It's beginner friendly, depending on the style you choose. It's very self-explanatory. It goes through every single detail of what you need. It's I'm looking at the book. It does explain everything and it tells you how to do things. And there's also a little test sock. It's like a little tiny sock to show how to do it. And I did that one as well. Jackie says the link I sent was a US site and it was $25. Okay. All right. So I made the Alison says I haven't been able to find a Kindle version. Yeah, I don't know if there would be a Kindle version for it. But yeah, but like seriously, it's one of those books. I paid $50. Like I bought mine years and years ago. I paid $50 and it was value for money at $50. So yeah, it is. It's like I think it's one of those. It's a resource book. It's not a pattern book, if that makes sense. But yeah, it's got like a little walkthrough of how to make the test sock, and it's just a little tiny. If you did it in Christmas colors, you could use it as a Christmas decoration, which is what I did. So yeah, it's just a little tiny, and so you get to do a little mini heel turn. You get to do a little bit of Kitchener stitching. Yeah, it just gives you like a little taste of all the components of a sock. I don't know if a child could wear it because it was a bit of an odd shape for that particular one. But it definitely showed me, because it was one of the first socks I ever made. Was that one, the little test sock in the book. So definitely worth checking out. I'm going to just see if amazon.com.au have any. Let's see if I can. They may not, which might be why Jackie grabbed that one. Come on, little thing. Knitted socks. Book. Narrow that down. Ouch. Yeah. Use that other link. I would use that link because the Australian one is apparently $223. Like, what? That's ridiculous. Yeah. Just order it through that link that we sent. That's the US one. It'll still work. Oh my gosh. Um, uh, I meant if the price is cheap, it could be the Kindle version. No, it was a paperback. It definitely said paperback version. Um, the affiliate link on the Fiberific site is to US Amazon. Yeah. So I do have Australia Amazon now. When I first set up like that Kindle site, that site, that was US only, whereas I do also have affiliates now to Australian Amazon, because when I first set that up, there was no Australian Amazon. So I will have to have a dig around and a play and sort it out. But yeah, we'll see. But definitely use the link if you want to do it. Use the link that we popped into the chat there, that affiliate link, because it's cheaper to buy from the US than that weird Australian, like $223. I think not. That happens a lot with books. Like when someone thinks something is out of print and they've got some, they're like, well, let's just bump the price up on this baby. I saw, I think it was a few years ago, there was a knitwear designer, and she found out, someone contacted her and said, hey, look, I really love your book, but I'm not willing to spend $500 on it. Do you have a price for an e-version? And she was just like, what do you mean $500? She had no idea the prices people were paying for copies of her book. So she actually contacted a publisher, and they ran another edition. I think the people with the other versions that were selling it got very upset. But like, yeah, it was just crazy. What is the most expensive book for patterns that you've seen online? Because like, I'd love to say the 223 was the most expensive I've seen, but it's not. I mean, I've never paid it. I wouldn't. I'd be like, oh well, I miss out. But yeah, we'll drop that down there. Oh, my coffee's cold. So Sally, no problems with the nut milk splitting? Because I saw it and I was like, oh, I don't think I'd like that. I still use milk for other things, right? Like, I'm not going dairy-free or anything terrifying like that. I love yogurt. I'm just trying to test out if I like some alternatives. If I don't like them, I'm not going to use them. So, like, I'm not one of these people that are like, oh no, I've got to go dairy-free even if it's vile. Nope, that's not going to happen. If it's gross, I'll just use dairy. So luckily for me, I am not lactose intolerant or anything like that. I'm just looking for alternatives. Natalie says, Morgan wanted Stanley's biography, but Amazon wanted over $1,000 for it. Oh my God, we got it for 100-ish on eBay. Isn't that terrifying when you realize 100's the bargain? Oh my gosh. Jen's asking if I'm using, no, this cup had oat milk, which we did have. Like, I am in team, this is not milk, okay? But it's what's called on the bottle, on the container, oat milk. And I like oat milk in my tea and coffee. It's very creamy and very nice. And I actually think with tea, it actually really brings out the tea flavor. I was surprised. I thought I was going to hate it. But I've got oat milk in the fridge, but I was reading up that sometimes oat milk splits when the cold milk hits the hot coffee. And I'm like, no, I don't think I'd like that. Okay, so Francis is saying, oh, I need to hear the rest of the Tim. Okay, so basically, I'm just going to change cameras for a second. So basically, I made Tim some worsted weight socks using the Charlene Church books. And the very first pair, because I didn't think he'd like them, and like, oh, he's never going to wear them. What's the point of putting so much work in? I was using a worsted weight wool from Bendigo, so Bendigo Luxury. No nylon in it, just wool. So that was the other thing. I was like, he's going to machine wash it. He's going to throw it in with all his like work gear, like jeans and stuff. They're going to die. So I just want to test it out. So the first pair he got were like fern green and rust. So I made the the fern green was like most of the sock and the rust was the heels and toes. And so he's taken his boots off to go inside, and his housemate at that time was laughing at him like, "What the hell is on your feet?" kind of thing. And he and Tim was like, "These are socks my wife made. Like, back off, dude." And when they walked into the house, his housemates left little sweaty footprints, whereas Tim's didn't. Tim was like, "See, this is the magic of wool." And the guy was like, "But aren't your feet sweating?" Because they're like out in central Queensland. And Tim was just like, "No, I'm fine. My feet feel great, as a matter of fact." And anyway, so Tim ordered some more pairs, so I was making them in boring colors, but I got to play with so many patterns. I made him a pile of pairs to send up because they ended up surviving the washing machine. He wore them for years of heavy use. They did sort of fall together a little at the bottom of the foot, but he didn't care. He said that it wasn't any less comfortable. It was just different. So he didn't care at all, so I'm like, "Righto," and they're in steel cap boots, so no one could see him except for him, and as long as he was comfortable, that was the thing. So, all of a sudden, I started getting Tim's ringing me going, "Such and such wants a pair of these socks, such and such wants a pair of your socks," and I'm just like, "I don't wanna make socks for everyone out at your mine site, dude," and so um, just, I was just going to like, say, "Hey, look, just, this much money." And I was like, "You know what? No, no, no. If I'm gonna be making socks for people, I'm gonna charge a decent price and see what happens." So I was gonna charge $50 per pair of socks because it took up about 15 to 18 in wool and then all the hours to make the socks. And the guy was like, $50 for socks. I can get 5 pairs of these for that. And Tim was like, "Well, then enjoy that because it's my wife's time." And he really defended it, which I thought was just really bizarre. The guy never ever took me up, and no one else did because Tim was like, "Did you choose that amount so everyone would say no?" And I said, "Everyone who didn't understand will say no. Anyone who does understand would say yes." Tim's like, "I'd pay $50 for more socks." And I'm like, "Well, you're buying all the yarn, so and sending me home all the site money. So, you know, I'm not I will make you socks as long as you don't complain that I'm putting in Bendigo woolen mill orders." So, I've missed something in the chat, so I'm just gonna scroll back and have a look here. Um another story. Not patterns, but natural dyes was listed for 700. I did a little search and found it from a little independent bookseller for 30. That makes sense. Um, it should be oat milky and almond milky because it does look milky. Yeah, that's right. It's not milk as such, but it does create a milky fluid. That sounds so wrong. Um, My mum bought me Leonard Nimoy's photography book for my birthday. I wanted the autograph version, so I contacted his people. I could send them my copy and pay the difference to have it autographed. They said I had to buy the autographed version outright. Yeah, they tend to do that. Um, Although most places, like most current autograph versions now are different, like you can just order it as autographed. Um, Jen says, "I've never used oat milk, but love almond milk. It's great in all the things. I get the original, no sugar added." Yeah, I've been getting the unsweetened versions because I don't add sugar to my tea or coffee. Yeah, I agree with you, John. I agree with you. Ruth says, "Today I got a package from Legacy of Hope." Oh, oh, okay. That's Ruth. I'm sorry, but I'm also happy that you got this. And tears flowing is so, so normal. So normal. I'm so sorry. Yeah, I agree with Jackie. It should be tears of pride because your sister's helping so many others. Absolutely. And I mean, this is a big thing. There's a lot of people out there who say yes to organ donorship, and then their families can't do it. It's so big. It's such a big thing to be able to just say, "This is what they wanted. Let's do it." It's a tough one. Um, I'm gonna keep I'm gonna keep going, Ruth, because otherwise I'm gonna cry. So I'm gonna keep going with what's in the chat. I did come across a knitting book for nearly $1,000 on Amazon, but it was 1800-ish vintage pattern book. I mean, yeah, that's I mean, $1,000 is still a lot, but that's a 200-year-old book. So, that's a different camp. That's a different camp. Lots of people in the nut juice camp. Yeah, I agree. Look, I understand that it's not milk. I really do, but I'm willing to give it a try. So we'll see. So far, oat milk, tick. I love it in tea and I love it in coffee. I haven't had any cereal with it. I tend to put yogurt on my cereal. I don't always use milk. So I haven't tried it like say with Nutri-Grain or anything like that. So yeah, but I just wanted something different from my tea and coffee. So I had less guilt about my tea and coffee consumption. So the worst thing about having my tea and coffee was the caffeine. Ruth says I'd rather have whole milk, lol. Yeah, see, this is the thing. I don't like light milk. I don't drink it. If I'm having milk, I have whole milk. Um, and I'm just looking at some options to try and utilize a little less whole milk because that's what I do is I like full fat cheese, I like full fat yogurt, and I like whole milk. Um, and so I just try to work out ways to have a little less of them rather than miss out them because like Chintamani says, light milk sucks. Yes, it does. It's gross. And I don't enjoy it at all. So I'd rather be able to try something with a little less fat in it and a little bit more protein because protein is what I'm looking for is the reality. It's not even so much the fat content in the milk, it's the protein. So yeah, no, no, Leanne's like, have you gone caffeine free too? No, I have not. That's the thing. I want the caffeine to be the worst thing in my coffee. But oh yeah, Jackie, I agree with you. If you're going with nut juice for taste or health, great, but don't tell me by switching will save the planet. Definitely not. Don't worry at all. It's for health. It's not. But it has to be health and taste. If it tastes like trash, then I'm sticking with what I've got. Francis, what's wrong with whole milk? Okay, so nothing. There's nothing wrong with whole milk, but I do consume a fair amount of milk throughout a day in all the coffees that I have. And so we're trying to work out some because there's in Australia, whole milk is 4%. It's not 3%. And I have a lot of it is the issue. Because I also like to drink milk. Now, I will still have my occasional drink of milk or my flavored milk or whatever. I won't be changing everything. I'm just trying to balance some things out and see if I like it. So it's definitely I'm just trialing some stuff out. I'm not saying milk is bad because I love milk and I will still have it. Whole milk in Australia is 4%. Then there's like the extra dollop milk, which has got more cream in it, which is even heavy percent. Like it's even way more, which is really, really nice on cereal. Like we won't go there. But yeah, I'm just trying to change it up. I'm also seeing if it changes how my stomach feels about some things. So we're just testing some stuff. Let me squiz here. Jackie says for someone who has too much fun. Yeah, my dietitian she was okay with everything, but she was like, if you want to try something to switch out, so that because I want to continue having my normal cheese and I continue having my normal yogurt, if I can drop down what's in my coffees, then everything balances out. Yeah, see, I do not have one coffee a day. I have around 2 to 3 coffees a day, plus 2 cups of tea a day, plus some milk. Sally said I switched to almond milk or juice for her gut. Yeah, like that's the thing. You got to think about what Leanne likes the light cream. Yeah. John says 4%. That's weird. The tea I drink is black and unsweetened. See, I don't like black tea. I don't like it at all. Yeah, Sally, so this is the thing, like, if she has too much dairy, it affects her endometriosis, but she doesn't wanna give up on all the dairy, and that's where I'm at. I don't wanna give up all the dairy, but if I can knock it down a little with my coffee and tea intake, then that will be awesome. Um, Rebecca says that my version of whole milk is taken straight from the bulk tank. Oh my gosh, that would be amazing. Um, yeah, they're not nutritionally equivalent, but yeah, unless I can't have something, which fortunately I don't have any of them, I will choose flavor first. Yeah. And look, the reality is I'm not allergic to dairy or anything like that. Um, I yeah, it was just really, really bizarre, but I just thought I'd try this, which is like left field for me. And the oat milk is delicious. Like I'm real like I had tea last night with milk in it and was just like, because Tim made it for me, he didn't put the oat milk in. And I was just like, oh, like it actually enhances the tea flavor, which I love. I think it's great. Um, different things work for different people. Absolutely. Where is there? This here. Different things work for different people, and that's why there's so many different things. It's not just knitting needles, it's everything. Different things work for different people. Oh, Lisby, that would have been a shock. I thought half and half was our trim. Boy, was I wrong. That is definitely so trim is like our 1%. Um, and half is half cream, half milk. It's not 1%. No. Um There, Jen says, after my heart attack, I can't have more than a cup a day with my blood pressure meds. The caffeine makes the heart funny. Yeah, I have problems. I don't have any problems with like tea and coffee caffeine levels, even espresso, unless I have like 4 or 5 cups a day, and then I start noticing the jitters, which I don't tend to have 4 or 5 cups of coffee on any one day usually, except for Saturdays I might have four. But with things that have added caffeine like Mountain Dew, those sort of energy drinks like V and Mother and all those other sort of like added caffeine drinks, I can hear my heartbeat when I drink them. And like a chocolate bar with added guarana, that's a hard no from me because I can hear my heartbeat. And that is just it stresses me out so much. I'm like, that can't be right. That can't be right. Molly is sitting on the couch drinking milk. Go, Molly. Milk is awesome. I love milk so much. See, this is the thing. I don't want to cut milk out of my diet at all. I don't want to cut it all out. I just want to reduce it down a little. Um, Rebecca says she grew up on a dairy farm. How that's awesome. I'm a 2%. I find that whole a bit too creamy and skim watery. Yeah. Grew up on milk straight from the cow when we lived in Massachusetts. We got our milk from a local dairy farm. All that cream on the top quart glass bottles was about an inch thick. Yep. Francis, yes, it does. Check it out. It didn't used to in Australia, but in a couple of years ago, they added caffeine to it in Australia. And apparently in the US, it's always had caffeine. Um, so I have 1 cup of coffee on Saturday, but that's a 500 ml cup. That's a pretty decent cup of coffee. I have these, and when I have these, like they're little cups, I think they're like 340 ml cups. So I notice I do tend to have an extra cup. Um, in my opinion, you can't compromise on butter or full cream milk. And see, this is the thing. Butter, yes, I use butter in my cooking. I use a spreadable butter for my sandwiches. And when I want to drink milk, full cream milk. But if I can find some way to still have good flavor, this is the catch. It's still got the oat milk still tastes good. I don't know about the almond yet. I haven't tried it. Um, so yeah, John says in the US, Mountain Dew has a ton of caffeine. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, I would be if you're in Australia and you've been drinking Mountain Dew thinking it's just a straight up soft drink, it is no longer just a straight up soft drink. It is an energy drink. So yeah. But Yeah, it's, you know, we all try things and we all see what we think and how it goes and oh, no, Lisby, I've seen that, people who put butter in their coffee. Nope, I don't understand it. I don't understand the butter in the coffee thing. Yeah. Chintami says, "I haven't tried oat milk, we'll give it a try." As long as you're not gluten intolerant, you should be good. I was at a keto thing. I don't know, but I've seen a lot of people talk about it, and I can't, like, for me, full cream milk is as creamy as I can go in a coffee. Like, I can't even deal with, like, an affogato, which is, ice cream with a shot of coffee on it, because that's too creamy. Which is technically dessert, but yeah. Um, yeah. Um, may as well just put cream in your coffee. Yeah. Yep. I agree, 'cause that's a hard that, like, I'm like, "Nope." Can you just imagine the sort of oiliness on the top of your coffee with butter in it melting? Anyway, no, my Chintamani says affogato is divine. I'm sure that there are plenty of people who love affogato. I'm sure. Otherwise, it wouldn't be a thing. Um, yeah, and just coffee just I mean, butter with coffee just sounds odd. Like, if someone's had it, like, in the chat, if you've had it, can you tell me what it tastes like? Like, because I can't even imagine what it would taste like, and how much butter do you actually put in? And I need to know all the information. I don't wanna try it because the thought of it's making my stomach churn, but I wanna know about it, if that makes sense. All I've seen is, like, people, like, going, "Ah," or people going, "Oh my god, it's divine." I don't know. Um, uh Sally says, "I've even switched from normal margarine to Nuttelex, which is no dairy, cholesterol free, nut and soy free, and gluten free." Yeah, my cousin went on to Nuttelex after some heart surgery. And I don't like it. It makes bread soggy. I like butter. I use what am I using at the moment? I think it's Debortly, which is an olive oil company. They've mixed olive oil with butter to make the butter a bit softer. It's very unhealthy, all right? And I need to cut down so I can keep having that. I mean, I only put a little on, but yeah. Affogato. Okay, so you get a scoop of ice cream, you put that into the bottom of your coffee cup, then you put it under your coffee machine and you get an espresso shot on top of it. And then the heat of the espresso melts your ice cream, you swirl it around and you drink it. Some people put Kerrygold butter in their coffee or coconut oil. See, I can't do the thought of coconut oil as well. I had a dietitian a few years back who tried to get me to add coconut oil to a lot of my meals, because I wasn't getting enough of all the, stuff apparently. Um, but it ruined everything. Like, I'm like, "How much of this am I supposed to be putting in?" And she was just like, "Oh, you need to put in, like, at least a tablespoon." And so I'm, like, measuring out a tablespoon. She's like, "No, like this, like, and I'm like, "No, I'm not gonna be able to taste anything." Um, there was a trend in the '70s in Korea where they cracked an egg into black no. Oh, yeah. No, I can't. No, I'll just keep moving on. That's a note from me. Nuttelex is good, and you can get a buttery type that's still got no dairy. Oh, that's cool. All right. Like, I'm glad there's options. Honestly, I think it's great because I remember years in the '80s, basically, if you had a medical issue, you just missed out. There was no alternatives. It was just there's nothing. Sorry, you can't have anything. You now have dry bread. Enjoy that. Bye bye. Um, I did try the organic coconut oil in coffee, then whip it up. Very delicious. I guess it might be the same. Um, I don't know. See, I like spiders. Okay, beverage spiders. So it's an ice cream float. We call them spiders in Australia. I don't know why we do. We just do. They're great. I like those. Chintami says cooking with coconut oil is nice. I didn't like it. I didn't like. I just felt that it was just everything felt greasy. I didn't like it. So I utilized the rest of my coconut oil, and added sugar to it and turned it into coconut oil and sugar body wash. So that the coconut oil didn't go to waste because it was really expensive. Oh dear. Yeah. Grainy bits of sugar, coconut oil, scrub that into your skin. Feels amazing, exfoliates and moisturizes, and you smell really good. So, win, win, win. Um, Sally says, I love the frozen spiders that you get with the ice. Oh yeah, my Abby likes those. So you get the like the slurpy bottom and then the soft serve on the top and mix them together. So I'm not sure how I feel about them, but Abby likes them. So I'm not sure how I like Slurpees and stuff, but it's got to be the right flavor. I got used to coconut oil in cooking in South India, where it's commonly used in everyday. Yeah, I think if you and see, I like coconut cream and stuff and coconut milk and stuff. I don't have anything against actual coconut, but when I put it just a bit in a stir fry and stuff like that, it just seemed to overpower everything. No, that's a no, Sally. No. My brother used to do that. It was gross. Don't do it. That and his thick shakes. No. Fries don't belong in sweet things. I'm just saying. But different strokes for different folks, I suppose. Okay, so we call spiders the equivalent of a ice cream float, or like a root beer float, things like that. We call them spiders, but we either mix, like we put the ice cream in and then you either pour on like Coke, or sarsaparilla is a good one. Creaming soda is another good one. Some people like lime. I don't like lime. But yeah, lots of people like them. Sally says it's the sweet and the salty. Oh yeah, French fries dipped in ice cream. Oh my gosh. How many people in the chat like to dip their French fries in ice cream? Let us know. Let's out everybody. Everybody. It's a no from me, by the way. But I'm sure there's more than two of you, and my brother. Chintamani's a no. I'm going to assume that's a no, Jen Deal. Is it what? Do you think it might be one of those things like coriander? How some people coriander tastes like soap, and it's like a legitimate thing. It really tastes like soap to them. Vampire says French fries in ice cream only works if they're extra salty. No ice cream in my fries. I've tried it, but I don't like it. Oh, who wrote? Hang on, where is it? Someone wrote something. Dipping the chip is an abomination. Is that okay? I used to, but that's a long time ago. Sue Singleton, coconut oil, spiders, dipping French fries in ice cream. Am I caught up? Good morning. Good morning, Sue. In a few minutes, I'll give another run through of what we're going to do for Tour de Fleece. But other than that, I think you're pretty well caught up. John says I dip fries in ketchup, not ice cream. I don't like ketchup either, which is tomato sauce in Australia. I don't like it. I'm a barbecue sauce girl. A tomato sauce in Australia has a preservative in it that sets off my asthma. Deb D says, as children, we would eat ice cream with plain Smith's chips. So, oh, okay. No, Bob, is that just a really hard no? My brother in Canada dips his fries in malt vinegar. In Australia and in the UK, you can actually order your fries with vinegar sprinkled on it. I've had it. I'm not a fan. I get it, but I don't like it. Jen Deal says ranch with hot sauce for fries. Nice. I would try that. Definitely. That sounds good. Potato gems and gravy. Oh, yes. Potato gems are they're my soft spot. I love potato gems. I think they're tater tots in the US, like little sort of like they're like little sort of rectangle rolls of potato that are deep fried or oven baked. Um, love them so much. They're like a guilty pleasure. I don't have them very often. My mouth is watering. Stop doing this. Alison, no, Alison, we're trying to do better things. Why do you suggest this? Try doing your espresso shot, then mix in a big scoop of Nutella before you top it up with hot milk. That sounds like a really, really delicious way to get a mocha. Oh my gosh. Chicken salt all the way. Is that an Australian thing? I think it might be an Australian thing. Chicken salt on hot chips. Absolutely. Oh, Francis's craft stuff. Back to craft, everybody. I'm currently winding up the latest spin on my Nitty Noddy, loving the red and the orange and the yellow tones, so bright and cheery. Nice. Well, I've nearly fixed this row. Like one row is nearly done. So, okay. Jen says I had get up for 5 minutes to talk about food again. Yeah, Jen, we got sidetracked when we were talking about oat milk and almond milk for my coffee. Must be getting lunchtime. Yes, it is. It's getting close to lunchtime. I'll tell you something though. It's kind of cool that I'm noticing stuff. I don't get hungry for breakfast yet, but I am starting to notice that I get hungry for lunch, which is great. Um, um, oh, Sally says she pressed enter before she finished typing. Hang on. Cindo says, I love the chicken salt. My Aussie friends sent me some. Chicken salt is awesome. Um, Yeah, they do have potato gems in the US. I thought it was tater tots, but I'm not sure. We're talking about how to craft different gastronomical atrocities. Yes, absolutely. Dipping your fries into ice cream is an absolute atrocity, in my mind. Anyway, okay, so we at the very start of the stream we had a big talk about torta fleece and what we're going to be doing as the Fiberific community or Fiberifians for torta fleece. It is 100% optional. It's a legit zero pressure scenario because craft is supposed to be fun. We don't need pressure on our craft. But but um what I'm organizing is there'll be a post a day going into the Fiberific Fun Zone where everyone can post their pictures of their spin that they have done. We had a quick mini poll here in the chat to just double check if everyone was okay if I opened it up and made it a little bit more inclusive, um, to include knitting and crocheting because Torta Fleece is a spinning event. And so to make it more inclusive for our community, which we do have quite a few spinners, but not everybody is spinners, and I don't want anybody to feel left out. So what we're doing is in those posts and in the what you want to work on, I still recommend making goals. I still recommend setting some sort of like finish line targets and things like that. Even if you want to knit or crochet or whatever craft it is that you do, to make sure that you still set yourself some goals, have something set aside for a challenge day, which is usually something that's a bit trickier or be a little bit harder to do. Again, optional. I personally will be setting myself some challenge day goals. I've dug my spinning wheel out of storage. I've got a couple of plans that I want to do. So over on the Fiberific Fun Zone, there is already a post up, which I will go in and pin at some stage so that it's at the top, where we're talking about our plans for Torta Fleece. And while I originally set everything up for spinning, I want everybody to know it is inclusive, which I'll be making a post, and I'll see if I can go in and adjust every single post that I've already scheduled. Sorry, the word would not come out. Make sure that every post that I've scheduled is a little bit more inclusive in its terminology. But even if it's not written there, I want everyone to know it is inclusive. We have Cindo is here because of Claire. Well, thank you, Claire, and thank you for joining us Cindo, and jumping in and having fun. Does knitting in a spinning office chair count as spinning? I mean, no, but you can do it if you want. I'm not your mum. Alison says that Nutella in the coffee is addictive and very yummy. Okay. Sally says I'll skip the coffee and just have the Nutella out of the jar with a spoon. Oh, Sid Roo. Sorry, Sid. Appreciate that. Sid Roo. Okay. Um, I I think because I don't legit spin, I don't spin legit. I'll spin a hand dyed hank and start myself a new project for TDF. I think because I don't spin legit. Well, I mean, I'm happy for anyone to do whatever they want to do and just join into the chats every day. There's going to be a new post every day. So my goal for Tour de Fleece this year is to spin for 10 minutes every day, which I haven't spun in at least a year. So I mean, my spinning wheel's been in storage. So it's out of storage. I'm looking at it. It's not set up, but I'm looking at it. And I've got some Beersheba fleece that's halfway through being spun. So I want to finish that first. And then after it's all over, it runs for a few weeks. After it's all over, there's another post where we can do like where we can post the photos of everything we got completed during our Tour de Fleece. So, and it's just supposed to be fun. It's fun. It's a no pressure event. Except for me, I want to spin 10 minutes every day. Carly says, so I'm so excited for this spinning event. I think it's going to be so much fun. Now, if you want to know more about Tour de Fleece and if you want to join a team, like there's actual teams to join, and over on Ravelry, there's like prizes and there's all sorts of stuff. It's a way much bigger event over on Ravelry. Definitely do that, but that doesn't mean you can't come and join us as well. You can totally do both. Kathy says, instead of doing blankets, maybe I'll crochet hats during Tour de Fleece. Absolutely. That would be awesome. Because then you can sort of like, I don't know how fast you can do a hat, but you could aim to knock a hat out each day or half a hat each day or something. Yeah, like that would be fun. And that photo at the end with all your hats laid out, that would be amazing. Absolutely. And they have challenge days and it's just a lot of fun. And I think it's a good way for us all to chat to each other more often over in the fun zone. So yeah. So what does everybody think about that? Let me know in the chat. I've got 2 jars of Nutella in the cupboard. I asked hubby to bring home some Nuddlex, and I think he thought I said Nutella. I'm not complaining though. We've had to start keeping our Nutella in the fridge, which is all wrong. It's don't do it, but we've been having some problem with ants and they can get in the jar lids, and peanut butter and everything is having to go into the fridge, and it's annoying. It's so annoying. Everything sets. So yeah, I don't recommend putting your Nutella in the fridge at all. Sounds fun, sounds good. Yeah, cool. Hang on a second. I just felt my table vibrate. It's my phone. Oh, there it is. Abby's floating around, so I just need to double check I'm not missing anything. Oh, well, I mean, we need to keep an eye out. Apparently I'm going to have an internet outage sometime today between 10 and 5. Thanks for that notification. I'm sure they would have told me earlier. Oh my goodness. Okay, so if I do drop out, I will jump back in. I will connect my laptop to my phone and we'll use phone data and I'll jump back in. John, I love that idea. I have really big Ziploc bags. Oh yes, I'm going to try that because I hate having them in the fridge. And Sally says, and don't put in a Nutella jar in the microwave to warm it up. It does not work. No, it does not work. Oh yay, Gus, it's worked. Woohoo! No more tight, uncomfortable chains under the arms of my top-down crochet cardigans. Fantastic. That's awesome. Yeah, I'll do the Ziploc bags. We've tried everything with these little ants, but just because there's been so much rain that they're just in the house. And it's just insanity. We've tried like we've even gone down the chemical route. Like we've tried all of the naturals. So, yeah, it's very frustrating. Oh, next I'm up to this row. I'm just jumping back into the last purple row before we change colors. Oh, that only took forever. Okay, there we go. Ants hate it, safe for animals. Yes, it is. It is. Bob Curran has a wheelie bin bag full of raw fiber to shrink. To shrink? Okay. Yeah. Oh yeah. Especially if you don't peel off that seal properly, because it's got a metallic seal, of course. Oh my goodness. Because I was thinking, uh, I put it in the microwave before. I didn't notice such a big problem, but I also wasn't looking. 1, 2. Oh, what am I doing? Am I in the right row? 3, 3. Okay. All right. Okay. I know where I'm up to now, I think. Oh, I love Ants Canada. Oh my gosh, that channel is fantastic. And he builds some of the most crazy ant houses. Just yeah, and I love Ants Canada. Like that's such a good channel. If you want to watch something that's just really satisfying to watch, Ants Canada all the way. I know it sounds bizarre to watch an ant channel, but it's such a good channel. Um, yeah, I hate the little ants. Oh, me too. The little and if they get on you, they bite you, little stinkers. Um, yeah, it is crazy. It's absolutely crazy. Um, but yeah, like such a good channel. I can't count apparently. I need 3 and I made 4. Oh, wrong way. I'm trying to get under the camera here and I'm like moving everything around the wrong way. Um, my mum did my mum did it and she sparked and the jar melted. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that would be a definite that would be a definite downside, wouldn't it? Like actually melting the jar that it's in. Oh, ants are just these are just little tiny stinkers and they just get inside the peanut butter, inside the honey, like everything's in the fridge at the moment just to stop the ants from getting in. And there's things I don't like keeping in the fridge. So, Jennifer P has to go. Jennifer, have an awesome week and we'll see you next time. So, does anybody have any questions about the tortoise fleece that we're planning to run in the Fiberific Fun Zone? I would love to be able to answer your questions. Also, if you think of a question later, jump into the Fiberific Fun Zone. There's a couple of threads about tortoise fleece already in there. This is one of those things that like decided last minute. I was looking at something last week and realized, oh my God, I'm actually going to be able to do tortoise fleece this year. I'm not traveling. So that would be insane if I could do that. So it kind of snowballed to a group event. When and where is it? It's in the Fiberific Fun Zone. So if one of the mods can drop a link in, it's the Fiberific Facebook group. And we are just running a small low-key version. If you want the full heavy duty, jump over onto Ravelry and in the group section type Tour de Fleece and you'll join the official group there. I'm not running an official version. I'm just running a low-key chill version. So you can find out more information in both those places. Sally's popped in a link. Vanphy said, at our old house, I had to put the sugar in the fridge or it would be swarming with ants. And when is it? It starts on the 1st of July and runs through to I'm not quite sure. I think it's the 20-something of July. It takes quite a few weeks. It's nearly a month long. And I should know the dates, but I don't. But it's it's a really, really fun version. Can we do a Thor version instead of a Loki version? I mean, yes, but it might be a bit more thunder and lightning. I mean, you know, if that's really what you want. Carly says, I'm all about that low-key and chill. Me too. Me too. I want to be able to enjoy my craft and not feel pressure other than some pressure to do it. I've got other pressures on at the moment, and I want this to be something I can relax into. So I can go off and do my stuff and then come home and use it as a cool down. That's my goal. Is that weird? Is that weird that I want to go off and go to the gym or whatever and then come home and use my spinning as my cool down? Jen Homewood, does it count? Jen Homewood, if you're still in the chat, you have to tell me, will that count? Don't worry, I know it won't. I'll cool down. I'll do a cool down at the gym as well. It could be the cool down of the cool down. Oh my goodness. I'm so excited. We've got the next color here, and I think we'll at least get it joined on during today's stream. Like how my hands keep moving. I think hang on. I'm just moving things just a little. I don't want to move it too much. Jen says it counts as a secondary cool down. Yeah. Thanks, Jen. Jen is my go-to for all things physical health. Between Jen and Jackie, like when I'm like checking to see if my physical dude is like telling me rubbish. So I'm like, is this legit? And they're like, yes, it's legit. No, it's not legit. So just, put some blanket up to cover the screen a little. Hopefully it doesn't press the keys on the keyboard. Oh, goodness me. Louis scratching on the door. Oh, hello, big boy. Thanks, Abs. So hang on, she's whispering at me.
Can I go to Louis?
For how long?
To be honest.
Can I talk about it after?
No.
Hang on, guys. I'll be back in just 1 second. I'm back. I had to do, teens on holidays. She does. She wants the car. You're right. And I need the car. So we just had to have a discussion over how long she could take it for. Teens on holidays. Absolutely. But Louis is locked in now. He's trapped.
Or you could drop me off after you finish.
Oh, that's an option. Okay, we'll talk about it after. Sorry, Abby, I don't know if you could hear her. She's like, you could just drop me off. I could do that, and then I get the car. This is the downside of Abby getting her license. So, yeah. So we've got Tour de Fleece coming up for July. There's also lots of people hitting the Bendigo Sheep and Wool Show because in Australia here it's winter. This is our big show season for yarn crafters and dyers and all those sorts of stall holders. So it's an awesome time to be having a look around for like Australian dyers, and the designers are bringing out more stuff, and there's just so much going on. So basically, Bendigo Sheep and Wool Show is Australia's version of Rhinebeck. That's right, Lisby. Upside, if I didn't need the car, she could drive herself. Absolutely. The other upside is that she actually likes grocery shopping. I'm like, here's the credit card, here's the shopping list. And she does a great job. So, you know, I hate shopping. So I'm like, good, thanks, Abs. Very excited when you offer to do these things. So yeah, it is one of those cool, fun things. We're nearly at the end of a row. I've got like the next yarns ready to go. I mean, it's got yarn bath and I have to deal with the yarn bath, but I did pull out its middle. So it is ready, legit. So what have you all been watching this week? For me, I've been trying to keep up with Star Trek Strange New Worlds, which I am loving so much. I am enjoying watching the episodes of Obi-Wan Kenobi. Sorry, my brain's giving me the logo, but it's not the words. Obi-Wan Kenobi, which I'm just really enjoying. And I have also been watching a lot of Bones episodes. So like the old series of Kathy Reichs there. So I've been enjoying that too. I'm just trying to think. I rewatched Geostorm, which I love. It's one of my guilty favorites. So I watch that a couple of times a year usually. And there was something else that I've been watching. I've started watching The Boys, like a tragic little supernatural fan that I am. I enjoy it to a degree. It's a little more graphic than I would usually watch. So I'm trying to persevere. Not coping very well with it, but I like the storylines. It's just a little more graphic than I'm used to. Let's have a look here. So Francis says, I'm still trying to persuade my 16-year-old to learn. Got his L's, but nothing. We basically, like, Abby was a driving force. She wanted to drive. So there was no holding her back. She was like, I booked in a driving lesson. And we're like, wait, what? So Lisby's been watching Obi-Wan and Ms. Marvel. I haven't watched Ms. Marvel yet. Need to get into that. John's been doing The Boys, Strange New Worlds, and Obi-Wan. Awesome. Deb D's been getting into 911 Lone Star. I don't know what that is. I'll have to check it out. Morgan and I finished Sherlock, so I'm revisiting Elementary. I love Elementary and Sherlock. They're both great. Sally's still on Outlander, and she has The Boys on the watch list. Caught the finale last night. I haven't watched the finale yet, so please don't spoil it. No spoilers. Kathy's watching Endeavour. That's awesome. John says I haven't watched today's Obi-Wan yet. Yep, it came out yesterday for us, and I haven't watched it yet. Rebecca says my mum's been catching up on Star Trek and Star Wars. I've been watching them with her. Awesome. Allison says, yeah, I'm watching The Boys too, but feel the same way. See, I like the storylines and I like the idea of it, but I'm just like, it's graphic. Like, it's not a kid show. Like, do not let your kids watch it. I don't want Abby watching it, and she's 17. So yeah. I've been watching a Norwegian show called Be Foreigners. It's got Vikings and time travel and shamans. It's really cool. That sounds awesome. Spy, hang on, Linda says spy cross families. My family is making me juggle subtitles while crafting. I don't watch shows with subtitles while I'm crafting. I just skip them until I can sit. Artsog, I agree with you. No spoilers. Those who spoil deserve no mercy. Absolutely. So yes. Lisby is hoping there's a second season of Obi-Wan. I thought they'd already announced that there's a second season of Obi-Wan. I could be wrong. I thought I read somewhere that they have a second season already approved. Can't do subtitles while crafting. Me neither. I find I sit there like this. like I do for half the live stream, just staring at the screen rather than actually doing anything. Oh my gosh, last night, you guys, I was sitting on the little couch in Tim's nest because I hug I hog that space sometimes. And so I was using this blanket as a knee rug while working on it, and oh my god, it's so warm. It's so warm. Like I had to kick my foot out. I was overheating. I'm like, oh, this is gonna look amazing on a bed, but it's also gonna be huge and hot and very heavy. It's so heavy. So those of you that don't know, this blanket is 2.2 meters wide. I'm just going to lay this out for a second and just go to here. So it's 2.2 meters like wide, right? In Australia, a queen bed is around 2 meters, like the mattress. And so, yeah, so it's a bit, because I wanted it to come over the sides of the bed, except now it's going to come over the sides of the bed. Plus I still have to put a border on it. So I'm not sure how it's going to go, but we've got some fun colors and we're at, this is the halfway point here. So we're well past the halfway point now, which is exciting. And we've got the next color is this guy here. And we are just about ready to go to add that on. I'm so excited. There's my hookers all the way over there. Okay. Emma made it. Emma, that's awesome. I mean, I'm sad your meetings got cancelled, but I'm also excited that you made it to the live chat. If you are here in the chat and you've been enjoying what we're doing, don't forget to hit that thumbs up. And if you can see the red, there's a red box that says subscribe. If it's red for you, if you can click on that, that would be awesome. I've just remembered actually, Abby has, oh, hang on. I just need to, Abby has an appointment this afternoon that she may not know about. So I'll have to look into that. I spoil things that you already know, like saying, I am past the halfway point. Trust me, I'm not sad my meetings got cancelled. I've just gotten a Google verification code and I have not requested one. So luckily I have Google verification on everything. I wonder if that's Abby trying to do something. We'll find out if I get another Google verification code. Yes. I'm so excited to be past the halfway mark, honestly. John, how could you put such a spoiler out there in the world? That's terrible. Oh my goodness. That's actually a cool spoiler because, yeah, I like that spoiler. Alrighty, we are coming up to the end of the row. So excited. Okay, so tomorrow I have John Pullum joining me on my other channel. If anyone of you is interested in learning how to live stream and build your online community, John will be over there. Next Wednesday, Claire is going live on her channel. So we've got some cool stuff coming up. Yeah, my kind of spoiler as well, Chintamani. Like it legit doesn't spoil anything unless you have, not been in the world at all, ever, for the last, 40 years. Oh dear. Yes. Sorry, I'm just seeing what was happening in the chat. Claire's phone keeps ringing. Well, put it on silent, Claire. That's what I did. I can see when stuff happens. So I was like, wait a second, why have I gotten a Google request code? Oh, Sally, thank you for popping the link to my other channel. Over on that channel, we talk about all things live streaming, and basically anything you can think of that has anything to do with live streaming, it will be covered at some stage or another. Not wondering, some stage or another. Artsog says I was on the edge of my seat wondering if Luke would survive. True story. Goodness me. I don't even know what to say about that, Artsog. I don't even know what to say. Let's go over here. Okay. 1, 2. Sorry, I'm at the end of the row and the pattern changes. I know I say that every single time, don't I? Okay. Yay, new color incoming. Oh my gosh, we are up to the next color. I'm so excited. My mother was watching Moulin Rouge and she says, oh, they look so good together. I hope she ends up with him. Oh my gosh. She said, I hope she ends up with him. How could you spoil it? And he was like, the first line in the movie is the woman I love is dead. Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's like all movie you're waiting to see how she died. That's the big thing there. Sorry. Here is our yarn buff that I pulled out of the middle of the ball. In here somewhere is the end. Hello, little end. There you are. Okay, let's join on a new color. I do just want to double check because, I may have it wrong. 205 is the new color. Where's my pen? There's a pen. I'm keeping track on 2 different charts. I know it sounds bizarre. Okay, join on the new color. Come on, little things. There we go. Sorry, guys. I'll check the chat in just a second. Go over there. Okay, new color is joined on. Jen says, I'm so happy for this craft and chat. It's the only chance I'll get to knit for the next couple of days. My mum is coming to visit from next week and I have to get ready. You have to make sure you say hi to your mum for me, Jen. It's been so long. I've actually become a little bit obsessed with Texas. I don't know why. Just a little bit. Like, what kind of music do they have there? And because I basically found a band that I really like and they're in Texas and I'm trying to work out if it's a Texas thing or if it's just a them thing. And yeah, and like there's some events that happen in Texas that I like the look of. And yeah, so I didn't know if it was a Texas thing. Chintamani, I can see what you're doing. Not subtle. Not subtle at all. Hang on a second. So it's 2, then 2, then 1, then 2, then 1. Leanne's stitches are out tomorrow. That's awesome, Leanne. Chintamani's just laughing. We don't have our next caffeinated crafters for a few more weeks. The first week in July. Yes, look at this. We have a new color. I'm so excited. It's a brown. They don't call it brown. They call it persimmon. It's a brown. It's kind of like it's a brown with a slight pink to it. Or a pale undertone, like it's a pale red undertone. It's a pinky brown. I'll call it a pinky brown. I don't mind it. It's all right. All of my stepsisters live in Texas. Okay. Yeah. Let me just check the chart. I'm just moving into the repeaty area now. All right, so that's there. Then 1, 2, and then 3. Okay, so Chintami says, I'm getting some stitch markers from the Game Widows for my birthday. The Doctor Who ones. Chintami, I have the Doctor Who set. It is awesome. You're going to love it. It's such a cool set. Such a cool set. Jen's just answering. There's a song about all my exes live in Texas, but all my exes live in Massachusetts and Colorado. I mean, I could say those words wrong. I don't know. I just know them from reading them, not from using them. Does that make sense? Yeah. And Jen's always talked to me about like Tex-Mex and Texas barbecue, and I think I could like Texas food. I think. I don't know. Maybe. And I like the music, and I know some amazing people. So, you know, I'm thinking maybe it would be a good place to check out if ever I get to travel anywhere ever again. Dun, 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 dun. Flying through the yarn bath. John says it gets hotter than hell too, so you'll feel at home. Is it a different heat? Is it a humid heat or is it a dry heat? I don't know. It's a dry heat. Every time I think of that Jeff Dunham thing, comedy sketch comes up in my brain about it being a dry heat. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just keeping it on the chat as well and I would like to get one row done. Claire says her comments are scrolling. Oh, are not scrolling. Claire, it's because there's not much happening. There's not much commenting happening. So, you know, all right, if you could travel to one place in the world, money not and a reason not to go, like no reason not to go except for, you know, you don't want to go there. Where would it be? Where would you go? Sally says, my phone thinks I'm in hell when I'm at Stacey's at the Gap. Oh my gosh. Kathy says, humid, hot is the air you wear. Yes, it is. Japan for Leanne. Ireland for John. Where would you go in the world if you could just go? No reason not to be able to go. England for Sally. UK for Knit Spin Girls. Italy for Lisby. Francis is like just drawing a circle on a map. All of Europe and the British Isles. Kelly says Europe, including England. Yeah, no one knows what's going on with Freaky. No one's heard from him in quite a while. Everyone's getting a little worried. So if you have heard from Freaky, let us know. You don't have to tell us anything. Just say you've heard from him and that, you know, if he's okay or if he needs us to think about him or more than we already are. Linda wants to go to Russia or China. Laura is Greece. Rebecca can't pick one place. Fair enough. Molly has picked Scotland. Sally's got the Circle of Doom. Oh no. No, I'm still going. Good, good. Because I'm like, oh, has my internet dropped and I just didn't know? Regretting not writing down what I did as I worked. A collar from one pattern, modified a jumper pattern from a cardigan, changed the armhole shaping. Probably never be able to recreate it. That happens. That happens sometimes. Artsog says the Italian countryside. Deb says, too hard to pick one. Europe, America, Asia, Africa. That's just like legit just about the whole world, right? Game Widows definitely wants to go back to New Zealand. Yes, we would like to know any news on Freaky. Absolutely. Alison is Ireland, Wales, and Shetland. I don't see. This is the thing. I don't know where I want to. I definitely want to go to the US. There's some things I want to do in the US. I want to go to LA and do some events for fun. But I also want to go and check out like Montana and Texas. And I would love to go to Europe. I want to go to the UK. I want to go to Scotland. Oh, yeah. There's so many amazing places in the world to see. And it's so hard to choose just one, right? I'm like, just one. You can only choose one. But yeah, it's just, yeah, I think. And Canada. I want to see Canada. I've got friends over there that I'd love to just catch up with. I haven't seen in years. John says I just messaged him on Facebook, so we'll see. Awesome. I sent him an email and I didn't hear back. Lisby wants to go back to Canada as well. It's so lovely there. Natalie wants to go to Hobbiton for Morgan's 18th. Hobbiton is fun. I love Hobbiton. Oh my gosh, how amazing would that be, Claire? Let's book a world tour for our 50th. That would be so cool. I would love that. That would be amazing. Laura wants San Antonio, Texas is neat to visit. Okay, cool. John says Alison's the only one who wants to go to Ireland. Oh, sorry. Yeah. Oh, yeah, on Canada. Oh, yeah, I would love to see the quokkas. So that's here in Australia. That's over in WA. I'd love to get around the world ticket and just stop whenever. Oh my gosh. Can you even buy around the world tickets anymore? I don't know. Laura says, can you bring your crochet hook on the plane? You should be able to, but you always need to check with your airline and you always need to understand that it comes down to the security on the day. Some of them will let you keep it, some of them won't, but none of them will let you take scissors. So you've got to be prepared for that. Oops, what have I done here? There we go. Alaska for Bob. Ireland for Chintamani. Knitspin Girl wants to go to Ireland. Game Widows wants to visit friends in the Northern Hemisphere. Was supposed to go to the UK for a month in 2020. Yeah, that got. Yes, wouldn't that be amazing? Drink like Irish Guinness in an Irish pub. Absolutely. Pat Jacobs says that they always crochet on a plane. That's awesome. Yeah, I've had no problems with crochet hooks. I've had my knitting needles taken. I was asked on one flight to put my crochet away. They didn't try to take away my hook, but they did request that I put it away because it was stressing out a passenger. Like a passenger had actually complained about it. And it wasn't like the passenger sitting next to me. It was somebody who could see me. So it was weird. I just put it away. It was a short flight. But yeah, I would always double check. I'd keep your good set in your luggage and only carry on the one you're willing to part with. That is fantastic advice. Absolutely. And the other option is to also have interchangeables and make sure you bring your caps because you can keep your cable but ditch the tips so you don't lose your knitting. Oh, something happened there. I saw it go black screen for a little second there. I have no idea what they had an issue with. Zero idea. I was flying Virgin to New Zealand. I have no idea what the problem was. But the steward was just like, hey, look, we've had a passenger complain about what you're doing. And I'm sort of sitting there with my crochet in my lap. I was working on a small project. And like a hook like this. And I was just like, I'm sorry. What? And even the person next to me was like, what? And they said there's been someone who has complained about what you're doing, and we would like for you to tuck it away into your bag if you could. And I was just like, okay, sure. So I tucked it away. No, I still have no idea. I don't know who it was. No one ever made eye contact. But obviously somebody is triggered by people crocheting. Yeah, I agree. A rude passenger. Yeah, absolutely. We don't know what triggers people. And yeah, I agree. I have no idea what was the issue. No idea. I just remember it was just awkward. And the passenger next to me even said, I don't understand the problem. And the steward was just like, it's one of the other passengers is concerned and has asked for it to stop. And I'm like, okay. I pull the wooden tips in my pencil case that I keep in my carry-on and keep my work separate. I don't get questioned. Oh, there you go. I'd have told them to jog on because I am the rude passenger. Oh my gosh. Yeah, it was very bizarre. It's the only time it's happened. I've knit like with like stainless steel sock needles, no problems. And you know, they look, they're little ninja stars basically. They're little weapons, but no problems with those. But definitely problems with a crochet hook and some yarn. I can't even remember what I was making. I don't even think I was making anything offensive. I think I was just making a toy. What were you crocheting? A bomb? No, I think I was making a little toy for Abby. I can't remember exactly what it was. I just remember being shocked. Like, what? Yeah. It was very weird. Anyway. Yeah, I don't know what it was. I have no knowledge. But yeah, it's bizarre the things that can happen in airports and on planes. There we go. We are cruising along today. Fingers crossed I don't make mistakes again like I did last night. I was really hoping to be like, hey, guess what? I'm on a new color. But no, we had to spend the first more than half of the stream fixing up my stuff up. Oh gosh. Yeah, I agree with that, Nispin girls. Yeah, I do know it's midday already. I just want to finish this row. If you guys are okay to hang out, there's a little bit to go. Oh, actually, there's a lot to go. I probably shouldn't. Abby needs to talk to me. Oh, anyway. All right. So I'm not going to finish off the row. But it's been an awesome stream. Thank you for reminding me of the time, Francis. Normally I would try and stick it out, but with Miss Abby here and I need to talk to her about some stuff. So tomorrow live over on the live streaming channel, it is not yarn craft related. We do things very differently over there. So if you are interested in yarn craft, that would be awesome. If you loved what you saw here today, remember, if you've got that red subscribe button, to just give it a tap and make it gray. That would be amazing. I'm close to a subscriber goal and I would love to hit it. And I will see you all here. No, Wednesday for Claire first. So Wednesday's live stream for Claire. And then Thursday next week, same time as usual here for our live stream. So I will see you all next time. Have a fantastic week. And make sure you keep an eye in the fun zone for all the information coming up for Tour de Fleece. See you now.